If you are dating the wrong person or you are in a commitment to the wrong person, it could be disastrous. I cannot tell you how many women have been literally committed to institutions because they were in unhealthy relationships. We are not meant to be in high stress situations for long periods of times. Okay, this is something that is very, very serious. And as you know, if you have been following my page for a while, I emphasize the importance of vetting. And up until now, I have not given you guys a ton of specifics to vetting to this degree outside of my course. Okay, typically you have to be in my 8-week coaching program to get something so detailed. But as I have been saying, 2025, I have an abundance mindset and I'm going to be very generous. Okay, and I am going to give you a lot of stuff that you can take to the bank. Now, just before I came on this live stream, I actually meant to post it in my story and I forgot to, but I'm going to. I had a young lady who just finished the course, okay? She's only been done with the course for 2 weeks, and she sent me a message and let me know that she is on her 6th date with this guy, and she said it's absolutely due to the fact that she took this course. The dating manual has been transformative for her, and one of the things that we go over at great lengths is vetting. It doesn't matter if you get the guy, it doesn't matter if he commits to you. If he is not the right person for you, you are going to be in hell. And you think it's rough being single and not having someone there. It's even more rough, if you can even imagine, to have someone physically there who is not able to give you what you need and constantly chips away at your peace. Okay? So I'm going to give you 10 signs this person is too emotionally immature for a relationship. And fellas, don't worry, these are equal across the board. So you could steal some notes from the ladies as well and use them when you're vetting women, which obviously you should be vetting women too. Doesn't matter. She's got a nice big old booty and a nice tight little waist. You got to live with her. Okay. So here are the signs to look for. Drop a ready in the comments if you are ready to go. If you are watching the replay, you could still participate. It's nice to know that you are watching, and it also helps the algorithm know that these are people who are actually enjoying the content. All right. Number 1, poor communication skills. This should not be a shock to anybody because everybody talks about communication, the importance of communication, but it is true. That is the most efficient way to express your needs to your partner. And if you cannot do that on the most basic level, you are going to have disaster. So what does this look like if a person has poor communication skills? They avoid difficult conversations, or they shut down when emotions run high. Now, this is often describing a conflict avoidant person. And many people have said they are in relationships with conflict avoidant people, and it becomes very, very difficult. If a person avoids anything that is not, woohoo, let's go have fun, we're having a good time, you are not going to be able to get through long term. This is why I stress how important it is to get to know someone over a period of time. I call it 4 seasons, and I don't mean summer, winter, fall, and spring. I mean, you want to see them go through disappointment. You want to see them when they're at the top of their game. You want to see them when they are very frustrated. You want to see when things are out of their control. You need to see how a person handles themselves in different circumstances that are not just all of the happy, joy, everything's new and exciting, and we've got oxytocin and dopamine just soaring through our bodies. Okay? You need to be able to see this person. So do they avoid difficult conversations? Do they shut down if there are emotions? All right. The other thing they might do, they might actually communicate, but they do it passively. Oh my God. What I cannot stand is passive aggressiveness. That is something that will make me drop you so fast. I need you to say, Yancy, I did not like that. As opposed to, oh, that's what we doing? Oh, okay. Okay, bet. That's what we doing? Oh, no. Yancy, I didn't appreciate that for this reason. I would rather you not do this in the future. Or can we have some sort of agreement that we do this instead? All of the passive aggressiveness is absolutely not necessary. And it brings me to the next one. If they do name calling, okay, even if they just say like, oh my God, are you stupid? Are you slow? What is wrong with you, right? It might not have to be 4-letter words. It's speaking to you in a disparaging way, speaking to you in a way that your daddy would not be appreciative of if he heard him speaking to you. And of course, I'm going to use male pronouns because my content is for women. But as I mentioned before, men, you can take notes, and this applies to women as well. Nobody should be in a verbally abusive situation. And if you grew up in a verbally abusive situation, you might think it's normal. It's normal to raise your voice because they're very passionate. It's normal to cuss. I mean, we cuss. Nobody should be calling you out of your name. Nobody should be raising their voice when they are angry. Okay? Stonewalling, when you have a disagreement, they're not moving forward. Okay? And another thing too is punishing you. If you don't go with what they want, maybe they start, withholding affection and start, moving differently. Not okay. All right. If you just joined in, we're going over 10 signs that this person is too emotionally immature for a relationship. These are things that you should have your head on a swivel for when you are getting to know a guy. Don't be so excited that somebody is giving you consistent energy. You need to be searching to see, can I spend the rest of my life potentially with this person? And if they have these traits, especially if they have multiples of these traits, this is a big, big deal. Okay? Somebody comment number 2 if you are ready for number 2. Okay, number 2 is they lack accountability. Oh my God, this vexes my soul beyond. I mean beyond. Now, the reason why some people don't take accountability is because they're very defensive. And sometimes if they are just emotionally immature, they can't handle criticism. Like it's as though their brain is going to explode if they get criticized. And so they really have a hard time even just taking the feedback. And then if they do take the feedback, what they do is they justify it in their mind. Well, I did it for this reason. And in my mind, I was, justified because I did it. They have a very hard time taking accountability. Yes, I lied to you. Yes, I lied to you. Yes, I exhibited a behavior that I would not be okay with you doing to me. They don't take accountability. If you have somebody who doesn't take accountability, there is going to be so much resentment that builds up over time. Nothing is ever their fault. It's always because you did this first or what have you, but they will not take accountability. Those are not people who are in the BGP club, okay? They don't even own big girl panties. They don't own big boy pants. They don't take accountability. And if you're somebody who struggles to say, I'm sorry, you know what, you're right, stop thinking so much about why you did it and focus on how your actions affected the other person. I'm not saying that you can't express yourself after the fact, but step 1 should be saying you're sorry for what they experienced, right? You're not saying that you did something wrong, so I'm admitting I did something wrong. In that situation, you could still say sorry no matter what. Oh my God. Oh, you were hurt? You could say, I'm sorry you went through that. Just like I didn't cause someone's granny to have cancer, but I could say, oh my God, I'm sorry you're going through that. Okay? So you say, I'm sorry. And then you could say, I didn't want you to feel that way. And you could also, if you wanted to say, I did not realize it was going to result in this. This was my intention. This is what happened. But don't act like it didn't happen. Take accountability. Yes, I caused this to happen. Okay, so along with that, they're not going to apologize. They are just not going to apologize. They're not going to make amends. A lot of times these people, they use stonewalling. If they did something wrong and you call them out on it, instead they're going to pout and they're probably going to withdraw and they're probably going to do things that make you get in your head and be like, oh my God, did I do something? Like, should I be apologizing? Not okay. Then you're going to have this toxic one-sided relationship where you could mess up. And they usually are really good about pointing it out, though. You can mess up, but they can't. And if you point out any imperfections in them, you are the devil. This is not something that you can sustain over a lifetime and still stay sane and have joy. Okay? All right, we're going to move on to number 3. Drop a number 3 if you are ready for number 3. The reason why, you guys, it helps if you drop your comments, it's because it pushes it out to more people on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you could participate, that would be fabulous. If you're enjoying it, hit those hearts, hit those thumbs up. It lets YouTube and Instagram know that this is something that you guys are interested in. You didn't accidentally turn on the app and it's just running in the background, okay? So thank you so much. I know it's kind of like kindergarten. All right, put a 3 in the comments, but that's fine, right? Full transparency. Okay, so we're going to get into number 3, and it helps me remember where I am. Number 3, this is 10 signs that the person is too emotionally immature for a relationship. You guys are awesome coming through with the comments and the hearts. Thank you. Number 3, they struggle with emotional regulation. Okay, this is somebody who, when they feel overwhelmed, I used to liken it because I used to struggle with this a lot. Oh, thank you, Cam. I said I felt like emotions were an ocean, and I was stuck out on this tiny little raft in the middle of a crazy storm. Whatever my emotions had me feeling, I was all over the place, okay? Which gave people a lot of power, because if they could piss me off, I'm flailing. If they can make me sad, I'm flailing. You know, if they can make me fearful, I'm flailing. I just was like all over because I didn't know how to regulate my emotions. So be on the lookout. Does this person struggle to regulate their emotions? Now, having emotions is a beautiful thing. You should have emotions. You need to be tapped into your emotions, but you should come through with the emojis. But you should be able to, if you need to, say, "Whoo, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I need 10 minutes." I just did a video, I think it was yesterday, about if you are a person who avoids conflict, you tend to get overwhelmed when it comes to having conversations. Cam, you would really benefit from watching the video I posted on YouTube about conflict avoiding. Okay, it's like my last 2 videos that I've seen, so just scroll and you'll see it. But you want to make sure that they can regulate their emotions. What they're going to do when they get feedback, keyword is when they get feedback, they are going to get defensive, extremely defensive, and they're going to probably lash out. So you might say, you know, hey, I really have a problem with Cam's. You know, Cam, you left your drawers under the pillow. If you guys watch my YouTube show, you know what this hamper gate that's been going on, okay? But Cam, you know, you keep putting your drawers under the pillow, and I don't even realize that you have dirty laundry, and then I do the laundry, and then I come back to make the bed, and I realize that there's all those dirty drawers under your pillow. Okay, I bring that to him calmly. I'm bringing a solution. Hey, can you instead put it in the hamper? And what does Cam do? Well, you know what? You've been snoring every night. It's been keeping me up. You know I have to work early. And he's going to just deflect. He is going to now bring it about something else. He's going to start criticizing me when all I did was just give feedback. Hey, don't really like it when you keep your drawers under the pillow. For those of you watching YouTube, he made a comment, because you guys are the replay, they can't see the comments, but he said, sorry for having my drawers under the pillow. Okay. Oh man. Okay, there we go. Where are we at? Become defensive, and they have a hard time managing stress in a healthy way. So even if you are not setting them off, maybe they had a bad day at work, maybe their child did something to them, maybe the neighbor parked on the grass, a hard time regulating, so they're going to bring all of that stress and drama into the house. Okay, you don't want to deal with that. Okay, drop a 4 if you're ready for number 4. We're doing 10 signs they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. Doesn't matter how fine he is, ladies. If his beard connects, he's got those side teeth and subject verb agreement. If he does these 10 things, any of them, all of them, run for the hills. It is going to be miserable being with him. Okay. Number 4, thank you, love. Number 4, he is going to have inconsistent behavior and give you mixed signals. Oh my God, how many of you guys have had a guy who is inconsistent? I need a man who is consistent with his energy. And I don't mean, you know, inside of a relationship, he could be all over the place. Maybe he's already committed to you. He's all over the place. But for the sake of this conversation, because we're talking about in a dating context, he's going to be hot and cold. One day he's all in. The next day he's Then he's gushy, happy. And then he's like, you never know what you're going to get. Every day you're walking outside like, okay, what do I expect? What should I expect today? There is no consistency. If he makes promises or commitments, he just breaks them with no explanation. And sometimes it's always like an excuse. Oh my God, my car broke down. Oh my God, this. Oh my God. You ever met someone who has the most disastrous life ever? You're like, you're either super flaky or you are the most unlucky person in the whole world. I mean, the dog eats the homework, the thing breaks down, this didn't go through, there was an error on this, like, oh my God. Kyle. And so they're going to be super inconsistent. He has a hard time following through with plans, or he has a hard time communicating changes. He said he was going to come over at 6, so you prepared your whole day around that. I'm going to make sure I have dinner ready, blah, blah, blah. And then it's 8 o'clock. He still hasn't showed up. And you're like, hey, baby, I thought you were going to be here at 6. And he's like, oh my God, my friend called me and he needed my help. And I just went over here and we were shooting some hoops and talking it through. And don't you want me to be a good friend? Whoa, right? Defensive, can't take criticism and gets really, really defensive. And, he can't own the fact, yeah, I gave you an expectation of 6 o'clock and it's on me to communicate that there was a change. Now it's you are not understanding. Why can't you be supportive of him being supportive of a friend? You want his friend to just be hanging. No, dude, don't try to deflect. Try somebody else with that. Don't play in my face. Okay. All right. We are on number 5. Drop a 5. You guys, we're going through this list quickly. Number 5 out of 10 signs they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. As I mentioned, it really helps with the algorithm if you guys drop the numbers. So keep it up. We're on number 5. Drop me a number 5 or be creative and put your favorite emoji 5 times. Okay. So, hey, Clemmy, 10 signs this person is emotionally immature for a too emotionally immature for a relationship, and you should absolutely jump ship. These are not small things. These are not things that are petty and that you are making a big deal of, but there's all these other things on the pro side. No, do not pass go if you want to be sane. Okay. Number 5, he avoids emotional intimacy. This is a sign of a deeper issue. He's going to keep his conversation really shallow. We're going to stick to what's the weather? What's your favorite cereal? What's a good show that you're into right now? Man, can you believe what Trump is doing? Like, he's not going to go deep. He's not going to talk about his hopes and fears, anything that makes him vulnerable, anything that makes you know him deeper than his coworker. He's not going there. He really struggles to open up. And if someone tries to get close, he's going to push them away. As women, we want to connect emotionally. And this is something that men who don't naturally connect emotionally have to really work on if they want a healthy relationship with a woman. Because if you're around men, if you have any friends, hey SD, if you're around any friends that are just guys and they're guys hanging out, they don't go deep. They don't go deep. And I'm going to tease, okay guys, but don't get mad at me. It's kind of like, yeah. Like if they could communicate with grunts and moans, I think they would. They keep it super, super surface. Some guy could be going through a divorce and he might just say, yeah, my wife left me. And be like, oh, okay, man. And go right back to what they're doing. Most guys are not going to sit there and unpack what is happening on an emotional level. Man, how are you feeling? Are you sleeping well at night? Do you want to try to win her back? They're not going to get into all that. Man, that sucks. Might give them a little on the back, hang in there, my guy, chin up. It's not going to go deep. Okay. So guys who are successful in relationships have to get better at that. If you are with this guy and you guys are supposedly moving along and he doesn't tap in emotionally, you are going to be miserable, little mama. If you stick with him, you are going to be miserable. Now, I want to add this. Cam says, is that a red or a yellow flag? That should be an extremely, extremely reddish yellow flag. Okay. The only reason why I say that there's a little room for opening is you might be the one to teach him. And I have seen this happen, but you have to be able to be patient and you have to see this trajectory of improvement. You start to see him little by little by little opening up. The reason why I say you can give a little bit of grace in this area, but he has to start showing signs of improvement, is because he might have had experiences with women who weaponize his vulnerability. And he might have experiences where he's been hurt so much. And although we cannot make the next person pay for what the last person did, if you're going to give any grace, this is the one to choose it on, okay? Trust is built. I'm not going to just sign over my bank account to somebody on day one. Like for me, you have to earn my trust. There are certain things I have to build over time. So there is a little bit of time that is needed for a man to have emotional vulnerability. However, he should be able to give you something. Okay, not something that you could destroy his life over, but some kind of deeper level. Okay. Where are we? So we're on number 6. Drop a 6 or do 6 of your favorite emojis. Try to make me laugh if you want. But number 6, these are 10 signs that they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. Number 6, unrealistic expectations. Oh my goodness. Okay. TK, I wish I knew how to say your name, but thank you so much. You've always been the first one with the emoji, so thank you. Thank you, Cam. They expect a partner to fix their problems. Oh, I like those, Clemmy. They expect a partner to fix their problems or make them happy. They have this Hollywood idea of what that means. Oh, that's so creative. Jessica put the 5 and the 1. That's cute. Okay. They have this fantasy about relationships. They idealize relationships, but they don't know how to put in the effort to get that stuff. I see a lot of guys who describe this perfect thing. I'm going to make all this money and she's just going to be, waiting on my every whim. She's just like, it's not even realistic. Or you have these women who are like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be sitting alongside of the beach, on the poolside, sipping a cocktail, and he's just going to be making like millions of dollars. Okay. And of course I use extreme examples, but there are people who have unrealistic ideas of relationship, even like we're not going to fight. We're not going to have any conflict and things like that. You need someone who realizes this is a normal part of relationships. But if they just want love without any work behind it, let them go. They are going to be a person who thinks that because you guys had conflict, it's a sign you should not be together. Oh, I'm sorry to break it to you, sir or ma'am, but every relationship, no matter how compatible you are, you're going to have conflict. Why? Because you're two human beings with two different life experiences, two different views of the world. And how freaking boring would it be if you had someone who was like you in every way, who agree with everything that you said? You would never grow and evolve. And I think one of the most beautiful things about a relationship is it's iron that's going to sharpen iron. You become a mirror. You start to see each other's flaws and you help to build them up. For example, you might have someone who's very, very rigid and they are not very flexible. Well, guess what? They're going to be really good when it comes to keeping things in order. But then you have the other person who's so laid back and a lot of stuff slips through the cracks. Well, guess what? This person can teach the first person how to relax, how to not stress over everything. So it's a beautiful thing when people can complement each other and not be identical. So if this person thinks that, oh my God, we had disagreed on something, throw in the towel. This is not going to work. That is an unrealistic expectation. Y'all, we have made it to number 7. We are almost done. Drop a 7 or drop your favorite emoji 7 times. This helps with the algorithm, letting YouTube and Instagram know that this video is being enjoyed. Y'all are falling off. That's pretty cool. It means you guys are interested. I take it. Number 7, fear of commitment. This should be number 1. Okay. I always say if a man tells you straight up, he tells you off top that he's not looking for a relationship, you should be out of there. Can you imagine if you sat down to an interview and the interviewer says, we don't have any positions open, but if you'd like to continue the interview and the 7-week, trial period, let's go. You'd be like, we're not aligned, thanks. I mean, one day in the future, maybe I might have an opening. You would be out of there. You hear how crazy that sounds? But we've gotten used to this. And there's this idea and this fantasy for a lot of women. It's like, he didn't think he was ready for a relationship, but then he met me, or I put it on him and now he is pee-whooped. Honey, don't be the 745th person to get caught in that trap. If anyone's going to get caught up in their emotions, it's probably going to be you, boo-boo. So we don't need to go down that path. I have mentioned this. Ladies, we could change and revolutionize dating and relationships if we understood that you should only allow a man to orbit your planet if you are aligned. if he is not on the same path as you, if you don't have the same goals, because I'm not going to even criticize the guy and say he's an F-boy or he's this or that. You're just aligned on different things. You're not aligned. You're on different paths. You have different trajectories. And so as women, you got to get off the train. Get off the train. You're not going where you're trying to go. You're trying to get to, Paris, and this train is going the opposite direction. And then 3 years later, when you're in Timbuktu, you're mad at all the train drivers, conductors, because they drive the train. You were the one who stayed on. You clearly could see the destination listed on the marquee. This one's going to Paris. This one's going to Timbuktu. And you're like, well, maybe the conductor's going to really like how I ride this train and they're going to turn around and somehow eventually wind up in Paris. Girl, come on now. And if you've been following me a while, you know the signs that guys give when they're interested. And one of them is crazy. Ready for this? He will tell you. Sip on that, chew on that, marinate on that. Imagine a sign that says, I am interested in you and I want to see where this goes. Crazy. And you might go, well, what if he just says that and he's tricking me? In the history of man, I don't think you will ever find a situation where a guy says, I want to be your boyfriend. I want to be your man. I want to be in a relationship with you. And he didn't want to. They're literally not. They might hint. They might imply. They might give you boyfriend energy. I get questioned all the time. Why does he give me boyfriend energy? What he's not going to say is, will you be my girlfriend? So if he hasn't said, will you be my girlfriend? Can we go together? Will you be my old lady? Will you be my one and only? Can we go steady? Can we go together real bad, okay? If he has not said something to that extent, you are not his girlfriend. You are someone that hangs out with him. You are someone who is getting to know you, okay? Now, if he says that he wants to commit to you and he's not doing the things that you need him to do, guess what? You have the power to get out of that vehicle, the proverbial vehicle, okay? I said women have the brake pedal, men have the gas pedal. If he's going too fast or too slow or he's not moving at all, you hit the brakes. Well, if he's not going at all, you don't have to hit anything. You get out the vehicle. Unless he's physically overpowering you and putting you somewhere in a van, you can leave of your own volition. It's usually our emotions that get us caught up and have us staying somewhere we have no business in staying. He said, will you be my girlfriend has been called corny in the past decade. I would never use a universal. A lot of times when people object to something, it's because they don't like that person. Most women want to know for a fact. And I did a poll with men and said, do you just kind of go with the flow and hope she figures out that you're in a relationship? Or do you explicitly at a certain point say, I want to be your man. I want you to be my lady, whatever. And there were still men who said, we just hope she kind of figures it out. Women, we want specificity, okay? We want it to be clear. We want to be able to mark the calendar. I became Monte's girl on April 22nd, 2023. It is specific, okay? We want to know that. I know the day that I got proposed, and I'm going to know the day that I got married. Be direct, as Jessica said, okay? What are we on? We're on number 8. This one's pretty obvious. If you can't figure this one out, you might need to take my course immediately. Number 8, drop a number 8. If you have the energy, put 8 of your favorite emojis or be random and do 8 random emojis. I don't care as long as you're engaging in the comments. So Instagram will push this out to more people. But number 8, this is 10 signs they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. They play games instead of being direct. This is also kind of tied in with the passive aggressive thing, but they're going to use manipulation and mind games or tests to gauge interest. She said ate, A-T-E. I'm going to take that as I ate and left no crumbs. Thank you so much, Jessica. Oh, thanks for the love. Oh, that's cute. So this is something he is going to maybe like withdraw to try to make you want him, or he might hint at things or post things to try to make you jealous. He might try to manipulate you by saying, well, if you leave right now, then I'm not going to da-da-da-da-da. Or he's going to do tests. Oh my God. Have you guys seen those tests? This guy is like, oh, I'm going to, if I have this guy flirt with her and see if she takes the bait. He's not going to do all those games. It's just going to be straight to the point. Okay. He's going to act like he didn't take text messages. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't come through, or I didn't notice. Or here's my favorite. I started to reply and I didn't realize I didn't hit send. Okay. Or this is the worst one, withholds affection to gain control. This is emotional manipulation. You did something I didn't like, so I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to be funky and cold towards you. I'm going to become an ice king or queen. And I might even make it worse and be like, oh, nothing's wrong. So you can think you're delusional. What happens is over time, I'm programming you to not piss me off. Do not disappoint me. Do not upset me, because I will punish you with my lack of affection, my lack of emotion, and my lack of love. This is something that is sick. And you will feel like you are losing your marbles if you're with someone who does that. Okay. A lot of times they will use jealousy as a way to boost their ego. So they might purposely do certain things to make you feel uncomfortable, maybe posting someone in their story or implying something or going on and on and on about a female coworker that he was talking to, or even if it's not anything salacious, he just wants to get you riled up to make you feel jealous so that he could feel the ego boost. Okay. 2 left. We're on number 9. Drop a 9, or if you really want to show some love, drop 9 of your favorite emojis. 9 out of 10 signs they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. Number 9 is he lacks empathy. This is really scary. And this is also a sign of somebody who is what is the word? Psychotic? No, not psychotic. Psychopath. And not saying that this person's a psychopath, but one of the things is they cannot feel other people's pain. So if you have a person who lacks empathy, that is a very scary thing. Thank you, Reza. We'll just say Carrasco is the last name, okay? They can never see things from their partner's perspective. They just hold on to their opinion, and they can never go outside of themselves. One of the things that I really pride myself in being able to do is step in the other person's shoes. I know what I intended when I did something, and I might have unintentionally caused the result. But if they say, hey, when you do this, it made me feel this, I can see how that would, I could see how that would rub me that way. And that's really important, that they don't dismiss your feelings. They don't invalidate their person's feelings. Like, okay, I can understand how you feel that way. Cam, you win with the random emojis. I love that. What is this? Fist, clap, laughing, peace sign. Can't tell what that one is. Is that a nose? Can't breathe. The other one is too small. We got the sexual lip bite. And then we got the tooth and the eyeballs. Love it. Okay. And they really have a hard time being emotionally supportive. It's usually backed with kind of tied in with selfishness. It's all about them. It's all about what they're going through. The focus is on them. And if it's not on them, they're not interested at all. But they want you to understand now. You better empathize with them. You better see where they're coming from. Okay. Number 10. And right, I did if you've made it for all 10. Okay. If anybody here has made it for all 10, kudos to you. Let me shout you out. But put I did if you made all 10. Otherwise, just drop a 10 or your 10 emojis. And we're going to get to number 10. This is the top 10 signs they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. You need to run for the hills if they do any or all of these. Number 10, they have a history of toxic or unstable relationships. Ooh, she made it to the end. Stargazer made it to the end. Oh, all of them. Okay. Carrasco made it to the end. Cam, you did? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Angie did. Come through. Okay, y'all. Number 10. This person is always, oh, that's cute, Clemmy. This person is always going to have crazy exes. All of their exes are crazy. All of their exes are delusional. Oh, 10 out of 10, do recommend. Cute. Okay. Oh, nice. She made it too. Paid babe official. Okay. They speak about their exes negatively without any self-reflection. This was a secret test I did to every single guy I got to know. And I'd be like, oh, how did your last relationship end? Or why did it end? And it was, oh my God, this chick was delusional. I think only one time I ever heard a guy say, I think I remember, it's so shocking I actually remember, but he said, I didn't focus enough on home. I was just so focused on work that I really neglected my home life. And so looking back, I wish I had taken more time to, develop that relationship. Other than that, it was, she was crazy. I have no idea. Or like something that makes them sound good. Like, I don't look backwards. I only look forward. But to me, the way that you grow as a person is to look back and see what you did wrong, see what you did right, and continue that and stop doing what you did. Now, if you even have a healthy relationship with your ex, even ask him, look, I know we had a toxic relationship, or I know whatever, but can you help me and identify some things that I could work on? I bet you your head would explode, right? But this person is never going to do this. And so therefore they just repeat the same unhealthy relationship patterns. If you were to take his last 3 exes, they'd probably all agree and be like, girl. And they would want to put a little warning sign in his forehead for the next girl who comes into his life. Yeah, girl, he doesn't take accountability. Ooh, he has an anger problem. And man, don't give him feedback. He will get defensive and ice you out. They would probably all have the exact same story. Not to say that they are perfect, but they're going to see the same behavior patterns in him because he's not going to grow and improve. Okay. I gave you all 10. So proud of myself. Have my notes so I can stay on track because y'all know I'd be getting long-winded and whatnot. But I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos that I have been dropping. I said I'm going to have an abundance mindset in 2025. I was very stingy in 2024 with the information. I saved it all for my girls in my course. But I want to extend some love to you guys. Give you a little sampling. You can taste and see that the content is good. And just imagine what I can teach you in 8 weeks. I actually see some of my former students in here. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. But my newest group is starting on March 5th. So if you want to be a part of it, you don't have to commit, but you do have to set up a discovery call just to have a little chit chat with me and see if it's a good fit. I go through a painstaking process of letting you know exactly who the course is designed for, what we go over in the course, what curriculum you can expect, what the process is like, and then we're going to be moving forward. Ooh, Angie says, I can't wait. Okay, so she said that I'm allowed to say this. Angie is going to be starting next week. And you guys, we have 5 spots left. I've got a couple discovery calls set up next week. Usually they go like hotcakes. And so we already have the first 5 that are seats that are filled up. We've got 5 more spots because I cap it at 10 so we can keep it nice and intimate but still have a bond. If you want to learn more about the program, just go to my story, go to my bio, click on the dating manual. That's what it's called, the 8-week coaching program. And then just click on a discovery call. Set up a call. It'll open my calendar and voila, you will be there and we will chat next week. And then hopefully, if it's a good fit for you, you can join the program, okay? I'm going to stick around for just a few minutes, see if there are any questions that you guys would like me to answer. The topic today, if you just tuned in, 10 signs they are too emotionally immature. Oh, Clemmy said she did the program and it rocks. Shout out to you, Clemmy. You are awesome. And so I'm so glad that you were able to. That group was one of the best groups, in my opinion. You guys were some of the most open and vulnerable groups, and you really set the bar really high. So great job, Clemmy, for all the work that you guys did there. But if anyone has any questions, let me know. There's a little bit of a delay with Instagram, so I'm stalling a bit to see if anyone has any questions. They drop in there. But we're going over 10 signs they are too emotionally immature for a relationship. As a quick reminder, if you have not heard of the discovery phase, let me tell you what this is, because this should be happening during the discovery phase. The discovery phase is the point between, hi, my name is, and will you be my girl? Okay, so you meet him, there's a discovery phase, he makes a decision whether or not he wants you to be his girl, and you need to be looking at his behavior during this time. You need to be looking for these signs. You should not just be, oh my God, I hope he picks me. Oh my God, I hope he picks me. Oh, I pick. You also need to be looking and seeing, if he is what you need. This is why we don't have a pick me spirit. We have I know what I'm bringing to the table. I need to make sure he's bringing something to the table that is complementary to what I'm bringing. Kaylee says, my group was the best for sure. Your group was awesome. You were a very early on group, Kaylee. I really enjoyed you guys. And I will say this, and I talk about this during my discovery calls. I always glean something from the group before. So it's been very cool seeing people go through the process and say, you know what? It'd be really cool if we had this, or man, it'd be nice to have that. And voila, the next group, they get that. So if enough people have said something like that. Okay, Cam says, what are the 3 most important of the 10? That's a great question, Cam. And if no one else asks any, I will move on after this question, or I should say I will end it after this question, and then I'll post the replay on YouTube. So I would say emotional regulation. Oh, so sweet. She said I go through it again. Struggling with emotional regulation is huge. Because especially with a man, that can be very scary. If he either is if he gets angry and he can't control his anger to where he might eventually lash out, that can be really scary. Having, someone who's bigger than you and stronger than you, even just yelling, even if he doesn't get physical, that can be scary. Or if he's just so unable to manage his emotions that he shuts down, that is traumatizing to your spirit. So that definitely would be a top 3. Not having emotional intimacy, that would be something else that you could not live with as a woman. We could not have a like platonic friendship type of a vibe. Basically, it would be like sexual and physical intimacy, but I don't really know anything about your soul. I would put that up there in top 3. And I would say, man, really picking it would probably be a mix between poor communication skills and lack of accountability. Because if someone never takes accountability, they're never going to change. But then poor communication, like, I don't know what you need. You just shut down. You just get angry. You just break up. You just, give me the cold shoulder. I need you to use your big boy words and express what you need. So I would say, Brian, those are my top 3. Okay, ladies, do me a favor. Drop the word share if you are willing to wait for about 2 minutes and go to my story, click the link. It's going to show you the YouTube link because I have to literally upload this to YouTube. I'll put the link in my story and I want you to share it to at least one friend. All of the like goofy stuff, all of the, oh girl, you won't believe what tea I just got. That stuff gets shared a ton. But a lot of the content that you guys value, and the way I know you value is because you hit that save button. But what really helps influencers and content creators and dating coaches is if you share. So if you are committed to sharing to at least one woman the link to my YouTube video, please write the word share in the comments, and then I will be able to see how many people viewed the video. And last time I did that, you guys really came through. So shout out to you for that. Okay, this video is going to be titled the same thing you see here, 10 signs are too emotionally immature. For a relationship, go ahead and binge if you want on the last 2. I talked about conflict avoidant and dating tips, things that you absolutely need to have to tap into your power. Okay. Oh, Clemmy says it's nice to see more men taking notes. Cam is awesome when he's not cheating on me on my YouTube show. All right, guys. So let me get to downloading. Also, don't forget, click the link in my bio, hit the dating manual, and set up a discovery call. Set up a discovery call and see if the program is a good fit for you. You'll just watch a 30 to 40 minute presentation and we will see if my 8-week coaching program is a good fit for you. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video.